As I've been looking at different work and watching how you've been doing with um, multiplying, dividing fractions, I noticed a couple things. So this is a special little video, special reminders that you have to do. It will help you. Um, okay, I've noticed like if you have a mixed number here, 2 and 2/7 times 9. Um, when I look at a problem like this, the first thing I think about is I want a fraction times a fraction. Okay? And the way I get this to be a fraction, it's going to be improper, but I got to get it to be a fraction. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 more is 16. 16 over 7 times, and I get this to be a fraction. All I got to do is go like that. 9, 1 equals. Okay? So now I go from a mixed times a whole to a fraction times a fraction. This I can do. And then I just got to take my time. Now, 16 times 9, I could use my calculator if I wanted to, or I could just come over here. 16 times 9, 54, 9, and 5 is 14. Okay, so I have 144 over 7. Okay? Now, there's two different ways to get this down to where it's not an improper. I want to simplify this, and I don't want it to be an improper fraction. Okay, it's going to be a mixed number because I have bigger on top. When I have bigger on top, it means I have some whole numbers there, so it's a mixed. Now this line right here means divided by. And you would say 144 divided by 7. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say this. 144, and then when I make my little lines, I'm going to actually say this so it makes sense. 144 divided by 7. Okay? So 144 divided by 7. Now, I got 7 goes into 14 two times. Subtract that out. It gets 0. I bring down my 4. How many times does 7 go into 4? It doesn't go in there at all, so I put a 0 here. 0 times 7 is 0. I subtract it out. I get 4. There's no numbers to bring down. This right here is my remainder. Okay? I have 20 wholes. And then this 4 comes up here. I want a fraction. The 4, the remainder, goes on top. What I have left goes on top. And this, or I go back to the original, started with 7, it ends with 7. Okay? So to remember that this is the whole number, remainder goes on top, and then what you start with, divided by this number, is your denominator. Okay? So 2 and 2/7 times 9 is 20 and 4/7. But I couldn't just go across like this. I had to convert this, change this to be a improper. I made this whole number into a fraction, multiplied across, and I did 144 divided by, boop, boop, 7. Okay? I want you to do this really carefully. I'm seeing some mistakes happening in this type of stuff. Okay? Multiplying fractions. All right, so just be real careful. Remember, and do this, write it out like this. And remember that this remainder goes on top there, and then whatever denominator you start with goes there. And what's sitting on top is your whole numbers. Okay, just a few little things. Okay, if you have any questions, don't just keep trying and thinking, I don't get this, I don't get this. Come see me. It's really important because once we get this, the next chapter is going to be about taking things from a fraction to a decimal, to a decimal to a fraction, to a percent, and a percent to a decimal, and a percent to a fraction, and going back and forth. You gotta understand this type of stuff, okay? So let's get that foundation, let's understand it now so that we can move on to the next, all right?